So you've purchased your dream villa in the Hondon sun. You've dealt with the lawyers, you've dealt with the agents, and you've dealt with the notaries. And now you're sat back by your pool on the terrace with a nice cold drink, enjoying the sun. But what's it actually going to cost you to run your villa over an average 12-month period? So welcome to episode number 86 of 2 Minute Tuesday, where we look into the running costs of your Spanish villa. Now, obviously, each villa is going to have different running costs. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to take an average running cost for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom villa with a private swimming pool, 2 people living full-time in the villa. And from that, you can guesstimate your costs based on your particular circumstances. Now, we're going to start with utilities. So first of all, electric. Now, unless you choose to live off the grid in Spain, you're probably going to be connected to one of the major utility companies like Iberdrola for electric, or Aguas Valencia for water, or say Repsol if you're in an area with mains gas. Now, the average electrical connection here in this area is 5.75 kilowatts. And it's possible to have more, but you're going to pay a little bit more per kilowatt hour for the increase in power. Now, electricity is invoiced on a monthly basis, and we pay on average throughout the year about 80 euros per month. Now, in Spain, like many other countries, there's competition between companies, and we switched recently to a green supplier called Nordic Energy, and we noticed our bills drop around about 15 to 20%. So it's well worth doing the maths to see the benefits of sourcing from another company. Also note that there are day and night meters available as well in Spain, so you can benefit from the cheaper off-peak electricity. So this is when you run your dishwasher, washing machine, and of course your pool pump. Next utility is water. Now, there are more options available when it comes to water. So for example, we have drinking water, which is potable, we have farm water, which is called riego, and we have delivered water, which is deposito. Now, you could even have spring water actually, which is free. Now, we have mains drinking water. We have an 8x4 metre private swimming pool. Now, our water bill is billed quarterly, and we pay on average 100 euros per quarter for our water. However, before we had a pool, we used to pay 40 euros a quarter. So you can see who uses the main amounts of water in our household. It's not the house, it's the swimming pool. Now, if you have riego water, your bill for the entire year could be as low as 30, 40 or even 50 euros, depending on the area that you're in. But you have to remember that this isn't drinking water, so you need to factor in this into your budget. For deposito water, you'll pay a little bit more, as you have to factor in the cost of delivering the water to your property. But generally, you pay 70 euros for about 10,000 litres. Gas isn't common in this particular area. However, people do use gas for small portable heaters, barbecues, or heating hot water. These bottles are similar to the barbecue gas bottles that you have in the UK, and here in Spain they cost about 13 euros for a butano or propano cylinder. There are larger 35 kilo cylinders at about 50 euros each if you have a central heating system. And finally, wood as a utility, if it is. We've got a beautiful log burner in our house. It's a 12 kilowatt one, and it does the vast majority of the heating throughout the relatively short winter. I pay on average about 220 euros for 2 metric tons of wood, 1 ton of the smaller and quicker burning olive, 1 ton of the larger, heavier wood for putting on the fire at the end of the night. Next up, we don't want them, but property taxes. So we have the IBI tax. Now, this is the Spanish equivalent of your council tax. And of course, it varies from property to property, and it depends on where you live, the type of property you live in, even the quality of construction. However, one thing is for certain, it's far likely to be a lot cheaper than it would be, say, in the UK, for example. So the average villa here will be about 450, 500 euros per year for a 3-bed villa with a pool. We also have a smaller tax, which is for basuras and sewage. So in my area of Hondon, this is a secondary tax, and this is for your bins, for the bin collection, and we have main sewers here. This is about 110 euros a year. Unlike the UK, for example, where the binmen come and collect from the house, here in Spain we take our rubbish to the bins. The reason for that is obviously with the temperatures being as hot as they are here, you don't want a kitchen bin full of kitchen waste in your house for many days. So you go and take your rubbish to the bins. And to finish off the taxes, we have car tax. I think it's as cheap as chips. I've got a 2-litre diesel car and the road tax is 70 euros per year. I know in the UK it will be at least another 100 euros above that. Now, some areas are going to have a community fee. Obviously, if you live in a community or an area with communal gardens, communal pool, or if you live in a block of apartments and there is a lift, for example. Now, this would normally cost around about a couple of €100 per year. However, you should speak to your agent if you're looking at those sort of properties, because that's an important part of the pricing of the property. So ask the agent what the prices are. And of course, it varies according to the facilities. So for example, if you're on a golf course and you have a communal pool, a gymnasium and a lift because it's a block of apartments, it's going to cost an awful lot more than if you have an apartment in a village with no lift. Okay, internet. Now, it's probably more important nowadays than TV. I'm quite lucky here. I've got 100 megabits per second, although it probably only averages 50 to 70 megabits per second. I pay €39 a month. I would say the average internet bill for internet is about €25 for 25 or 50 megabits per second. Because the weather's so nice here, the main thing that everybody complains about is their internet speed and who's currently the fastest or the slowest. One thing for certain is it's getting better. TV licence, simply there is no TV licence here in Spain. Things like household insurance. Now, recently we helped a client and we had a ring round of brokers on behalf of the clients for building and contents insurance, and we found it was about 10-15% cheaper than the UK. However, it's difficult to compare like for like with villas with swimming pools, things like this. There are lots and lots of companies. They all have English speaking departments and the insurance is very simple to arrange. So these are the main things that we need to cover. There is one other thing, which is the non-resident tax. Now, as an owner of a Spanish property, you don't need to be a resident of Spain. However, if you're not a resident, you have to pay something called non-resident tax. Now, people often think that you only have to pay this if you rent out your villa. Now, that's not true. You still need to pay this tax once a year. Now, don't worry, it's not expensive, and although it's difficult to calculate, it's normally done for you. Now, this tax is calculated on your rateable value, your valor cadastral, and it will be something like 1.1% of the rateable value, and then you get taxed 19% of that. You can include in that any deductible expenses, and your lawyer or your gestor will calculate this for you, so don't worry. If you do rent out your property, you obviously have to pay income tax from rentals. So you should file a tax return each quarter showing any expenses as well as any income. And our advice is always employ the services of a good lawyer, gestor or accountant. Now, obviously we could continue this video with the cost of fuel, your weekly shopping bill, groceries, clothing, furniture. There are plenty of other variables, but I'm sure this video has gone on long enough already. So once again, thank you very much for your time in watching this video. We hope it's been informative. I'd like to take time actually just to thank all the people who send us lovely messages when we do these videos. They're greatly appreciated, and it's nice to have them each time we post a new video. If you've got any questions about this video, about the area, about buying or selling properties, please drop me a line on the details. There should be something on the screen at the moment. And as usual, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. So until the next episode, all that remains is for me to wish you a very good day and hasta luego.